And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheiser along with Brandon Combs himself. Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the new blog section, the merchandise section, and, of course, check out the past podcasts. So if you miss any part of the show whatsoever, head over there right after this, and it'll be uploaded before midnight tonight. I guarantee you that. I don't guarantee that because sometimes when I get off the show, I'm just ready for bed, to be honest with you. But, Combs, we had a great interview with Zen. We have another great interview coming up here at the top of the hour, at the 9 o'clock hour East Coast time. But we have to welcome 5'7" himself, the baseball lackey, the ginger, Hoffy. What's up, man?
What's up, Man Hour? Thanks for having me in. And I'm no baseball guru, but I'll give you one thing you can take to the bank, Buck. Your Royals are going nowhere this year.
Oh, they aren't going to get first place
coming
in
in hot.
the playoffs? Man.
First place and last, but hey, my Red Sox are probably right there next to you, so it's all good.
Wow.
Hoffy, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Cone? How you doing, boss?
I was going to be nice to you and give softball questions and sign on you.
Oh, you were coming in hot. Don't lie.
Man, like all of a sudden, I feel this anger boiling inside of me. It's going to just like
Ginger
punch you
Nation. We got to stick together.
Right. I mean, is it weird that we have 3 gingers in one location?
Hey,
I actually think this is the most gingers that are allowed in one location right now.
Yeah, I feel like we are breaking some state laws like at this point. But
we're in 3 different time zones.
There you go. Wow, that's a great point. So you are here to talk some Major League Baseball, and that's exactly what we are going to do. Some big news happened late last night. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when the alert came across my phone. But George Springer signed with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Hoppy, I'm going to put this up on a pedestal for you right now. Is it time to put the Blue Jays in this World Series talk with the signing of George Springer?
Oof. I don't know about World Series talk, but me being from New England and being from New Hampshire, that's where the Fisher Cats play, which is the farm system for the Blue Jays. So I've gotten a firsthand look at Vladdy Jr., Biggio, Bichette. So I'm excited about their offensive power, but I think they need 2 more, bullpen guys. And another starter would definitely help. They do have one guy, and I wrote down his name so I didn't forget it, and I obviously already forgot it. But I think their starting pitcher, Nate Pearson, is going to have a huge year for them in order for them to, be successful. But, you got the Yankees and the Rays are always good, and even with their slash payroll. So we'll see.
That whole division from top to bottom seems like you could talk anybody going to the World Series like out of the division, like at that point. Combs, what are your thoughts on the George Springer signing?
I think it's a nice sign for the Toronto Blue Jays. I think it kept them away from the New York Yankees. And I also think that I agree with Hoffy. I think they still need 1 or 2 more pitchers. They need some back end of the rotation help. They need some bullpen help. I mean, if you're gonna go get Springer, why not go out and get some of these top name free agent pitchers that are out there like a Trevor Bauer?
Why not Tanaka? He's out there. He knows the East.
Masahiro Tanaka would be another great pickup for them.
They're adding Kirby
They don't
Yates.
have any money. They spent $160 million on George Springer.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real. It's the Blue Jays. Most of their money right now is tied up in rookie contracts, and them rookie contracts are pennies. So, the Blue Jays definitely have the means to go ahead and do it. I didn't think they were going to. I thought this was going to be a Mets move all day long. But then, obviously they ended up getting Francisco Lindor, and they got Carlos Carrasco, and so. And plus they've got their own issues right now that they're dealing with. The Mets are metting as the Mets can only met right now. And they, I thought this would have been a good signing for them. I thought Trevor Bauer would have been a good signing for them. But I don't know how, do you think that the Blue Jays are the cream of the crop in the AL East now, just with George Springer?
They'll hang offensively, but, again, the pitching's going to be the question mark. They got the closer, Kirby Yates. He was 40 or 41 in closed opportunity. So, I mean, you get him an opportunity to close the game, he's going to close it. But you also got to hang with the Yankees. The Rays are going to have a pitching staff. So are they going to minimize your offensive lineup? And that's where you go into it. But you think back 10 years ago, Buck, when they had Tulowitzki, Donaldson. So, I mean, every 15 years or so, that they'll go out and spend and go. Yeah. Right. You had the late 80s, early 90s. They were good.
So the Marlins of the American League.
So speaking of moves, we are exactly 26 days until spring training is scheduled to start, and there are some still some big free agent names
There's
out
some
there.
big names.
Trevor Bauer that Combs just dropped that is still out there. Well, when are these guys going to start signing? Because, I mean, 26 days is less than a month away, and you don't even have a team yet. Like, who signs first and where?
Combs.
Well, I mean, first things first, though, they're all going to sign. I mean, these guys are going to start dropping. I mean, Springer, I think, was a big one. Once Real Muto finally signs that contract with the Phillies, I don't know what he's waiting on, but that number that Phillies gave him, I don't think that he's going to get more than what they offered him.
No.
So I think he's got to sign there. Brantley just signed. First we thought he signed with the Blue Jays as well, and then all of a sudden he went and 2 hours later we found out he actually didn't sign with the Blue Jays and he signed with the Astros instead. So that
Josh
was
McDaniels.
yeah, like it was one of the. I think that they just I think they just jumped on it too early. I think the reporting was a little premature. And
if you're not first, you're like you were last. So, like, even if you report fake news, like if you happen to be first at one time, I mean, it's all better, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I seen this like Bauer's in talks with the Yankees, like Tori Anderson says here. Bauer to the Yankees is a good thing for the Yankees. It's a bad thing for the American League East, but it's a good thing for the Yankees. The Yankees, they go out and they do stuff, but they don't get pitching. I don't understand how that front office doesn't understand that the only reason they haven't won a World Series in the last 6-7 years is because they have no pitching.
Or because they can't stay healthy.
And they continue to sign offensive players. And I'm like, well, great, but who's going to pitch for you in the playoffs? This is why you don't win in October, because pitching plays in October. And good pitching always beats good hitting. And that's why they lose every year to a team you don't even see coming, whether it be the Oakland A's, whether it be the Rays this year. You lose to good pitching, and they just don't seem to understand that.
Yeah, so speaking of Tanaka, Tori Anderson says Tanaka is probably heading back to
I've heard that too.
Japan.
I've heard that too. So.
That's been a big thing. So, like, why do you think he would forego a major league contract to go back to his homeland to play ball? Just because he misses home, or
I think he's been hurt a lot, and he hasn't performed up to expectations here in the major leagues. When he came in, everybody was talking about this is the Asian Roger Clemens. This guy is going to come in and he's going to dominate. He's just never been that. So maybe his psyche just is like, look, man, I just want to go home. So I could definitely see it. But there are a lot of teams that could use him. I mean, hell, my Cubs, Hoffy, I don't know what we lost our entire rotation to free agency. Like I didn't even know, and this, as a Cubs fan, I didn't even know that a couple of these guys were even available.
Quintana.
I was like, what the? Like Quintana goes to the Angels, and I'm like,
I love it.
Wait, I thought we had him under contract. What do you mean Quintana went to the Angels?
No, 1 year, $8 million deal too. That's a hell of a deal. A prove it deal. I think if the Angels can add, they were talking about Bauer. I think if they can get him with Ohtani, Ohtani can ring.
Healthy,
and that, exactly. Coming back healthy with that arm. I think he's going to be one of the few Japanese pitchers that we actually see put up the numbers that we expected, because we've seen what he does with the bat. And I mean, if he can do half with his arm, what he can do with a bat, he's worth every penny.
Now,
they got to do something for Trout.
Ohtani, is that, would you keep him as a two-way player?
Yes. 100%.
See, I would just say, guy, look, I know you want to be a two-way player, but you can flat out hit. And I don't want to lose you to another rotator cuff injury or another, if you've got to go have Tommy John, like, I don't want to lose you to that.
Yeah, but they're paying him money, so they want their money's worth out of him.
Yeah, but I think you get your money's worth as long as you keep him healthy and keep him in the outfield, because batting him next to, this lineup that they have, man, with a healthy Ohtani, the way he can hit, this Angels, and I said this last year in the short 60-game season, and it didn't pan out. I think maybe if it was a longer season, they might have had time to come back because they were starting to play really good ball towards the end of the season. But I think that the the Angels have the best team in the AL West. I really do.
Yeah, I think they're going to compete for sure. That's why I'd like them just to add Bauer just to shore up their rotation, because that's their issue. I mean, they got Trout, and what's he 10 years into his career now? He's been to postseason once. He's 0-3.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's not his fault by any means. The guy puts up numbers every year, and I mean, he's the Michael Jordan of baseball, and it just seems unfair, for him to.
But
not
he's also one of those
there.
guys who doesn't want to play anywhere where there's a whole lot of spotlight either. He loves playing in Anaheim because most people who, other than guys like me and you, I mean, you live out in California, so it's easier for you to watch an Angels game. Me, the game's starting at 9 o'clock. For Buck, it's starting at 10 o'clock. Buck ain't staying up at 10 o'clock to watch a baseball game.
And I'm
I'll
ready for
watch a
bed at
baseball
10.
He's already falling asleep. Look at him.
Yeah, I'll watch a
I'm pulling a
baseball
wide
game
over
until
here.
midnight, but not many people are, and I think that's why he signed that long contract with them and said, "Hey, look, guys, let's at least try to contend." Because Ohtani, and that's why I agree with Tim Leonard there, who said the Angels need to make a decision with Ohtani. I agree, because if you make Ohtani be an outfielder and just hit and not worry about pitching, I think
Wait a
Or you
second.
could just DH at that point.
Wait a second.
yeah.
Hold up. Let me try to dissect of what you just said here. You said that Trout signed a long-term deal with Anaheim because he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Is
Yes.
that what you just said?
That's
is
why
the
he didn't-
face of baseball.
He very
But
quietly is for
what
sure.
does baseball do with their faces?
They do nothing, but still.
Oh, okay then. That's what I'm saying. He is okay with being in Anaheim, and I mean they gave him what was that? 10 years, $400-something million,
Yeah.
like $460 or something like that.
He was
That's-
with the Rangers before that, right? Wasn't he?
Trout?
No, Trout's always been with the Angels.
Always been with the Angels.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Drafted
Oh,
in
I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of
Hamilton.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hamilton.
yeah.
Hamilton.
God,
yeah.
he was a mess.
Did you just compare Mike Trout to Josh?
Well, I was thinking because I for some reason I thought
Power,
Trout was at
position.
drugs,
Redhead.
the cocaine, all that stuff, right?
But no, I don't know. I think that the Angels definitely need to make a decision with Mike Trout, or not Mike Trout, with Shohei Ohtani.
Like, if he was on your team, what decision would you make? Because I think he's a pretty good pitcher.
If he's on my team, I'm making him a DH or an outfielder.
Okay, so what if the NL doesn't have DH, which they're thinking about?
The NL is definitely they're God.
They're in the
NL
AL,
has
so
a
it doesn't
DH.
matter.
Well, I'm saying, like, what if he was in the NL?
Oh, okay.
If he's the NL and there's no DH, I'm still making him a right fielder. Like I don't want him to be a pitcher because he's so good offensively. Like I don't want to lose that out of my lineup. And you put him, Trout, and Rendon as your 3, 4, 5. That is a filthy.
You got
3, 4,
Pujols
5.
in 6.
Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous lineup. And so, that's what I would do with them. And the NL should absolutely. I don't know about you, Hoffy, but the NL should absolutely go to a DH. The
I agree.
National League should have a DH for the rest of the time.
We need to speed the games up, and by having pitchers hit in the NL, that there's more pitcher substitutions, there's longer warm-ups for those pitchers. So yeah, by just having a DH, you're going to have those pitchers go from pitching 5 innings to 7 innings, and you're going to have less of that, those substitutions in between.
And that's the other thing I hear all the time is people say, "Oh, we need to speed the games up." Do you know that the average baseball game this past season was actually shorter than the average football game?
There's a lot of 7-inning games.
And the average time in play was actually more than a football game this year. Like I mean, people say that, but I just think it's because those people that say that don't really understand the beauty of baseball.
Right, but you have the people that fell in love with baseball, such as me and you in the 80s and 90s, and they're holding on to the 80s and 90s and those days. And those days were 2.5-hour baseball games. It's now 3-hour plus. So yeah. I'll watch the 3-hour game. I'm a fan of the game. But you have those people that want to see offense, and that's the other thing. We need to lower the mound. Get some more offense, flatten the ball, allow people to stop going for the home runs every time, get some more small ball, and we'll see some more. More action, faster gameplay, etc.
And that was the one thing that I heard that was floated out there was, should the Major League Baseball ban the shift? I'm telling you right now, my grandfather is rolling over in his grave at that question, because he would say, no, learn how to hit the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to pull the ball. Stop trying to hit the long ball and hit the ball the other. Once you start beating the shift will outlaw itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can beat the shift, they're not going to shift you. I don't get that whole, we need to outlaw the shift, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. It just doesn't make sense to me.
If David Ortiz can lay down a bunt down the third base line.
Yes. I've seen Rizzo do it. I've seen tons of guys that they pull this shift on, beat it with a bunt, and end up with a double.
Yeah. Is it hard? Yes. Are you a professional athlete that should be able to do it for the millions of dollars you make? Yes.
Yes.
I couldn't have agreed more with that. But Tim Leonard brings up a comment here saying, it's back to Ohtani, the development of a pitcher is different from a position player. Distributing a player's training / Patrick endangers the player careers and the franchise's investment. Do you guys agree with that a little bit?
I do to an extent, because I know we've talked about this on the show before, Buck and Hoffy. I don't know what you think about it, but you come up as all these guys played Little League, and your best player in Little League is a shortstop, he's a center fielder, and he's a pitcher. So you grow up playing all of these different positions, and most likely you're doing it in high school as well. Where you lose it is when you get to college, because that's when your true position really starts to take place. That's when they start to develop you at a position, and it's for two reasons. One, you can't hit, or two, you can't pitch. So they decide where you're going to go. I mean, in high school, it's one thing because you're throwing, fastball, maybe a curveball. I always try to teach my younger players to not throw a curveball or not throw a slider until they're over the age of 16 because of elbow problems that it can do. I like, if I'm going to teach my kid, my little leaguers, two different pitches, it's a fastball and a changeup, because you don't change your delivery motion and it doesn't torque your elbow. But once you get into college, that's when you start developing, and some guys can develop into, throwing this or that. I know for me, it was a 50-mile-an-hour fastball or a knuckleball. So either way, I wasn't throwing very fast. I know I've played ball with Hoffy, and playing first base while Hoffy's a shortstop, I crap myself every time the guy throws. One, because I don't know where the hell the ball's going, and two, because it's coming at me at 1 billion miles an hour. So I just crap myself every time he throws. And those are the guys.
It sounds like I make millions of errors. I don't think I made an error in my life.
No. I'm saying I don't know where it's going, whether it's going left or right, and your ball has a natural tail to it. So I just kind of poop myself playing first for you.
What you're saying, Combs, is you are the stereotypical first baseman. You are fat, short, and can't catch, right?
No. And Hoffy will attest to that. I can at least catch. I can track a fly ball. I'm an all right outfielder. But yes, my favorite position is actually third and first, because you don't have to move as much as you do at short, and you can cheat your arm. I don't have a very good arm, so I play in a lot, which causes me to make a lot more errors because I play in a lot. And in softball, when you play short, people crush the ball. And so there are a lot of bad hops. There are a lot of things that take. But I have to cheat my arm, so I have to play in. And same thing at first base. Like I don't have to worry about my arm, so that's why I really like playing there.
I played outfield, but my favorite spot to play was get super drunk and play catcher and stand behind the umpire and let him catch the ball. But speaking of getting super drunk and just getting stupid, we talked about this yesterday, but Hoffy, I want your thoughts on this. We talked about Jared Porter and all those text messages that he was sending the female reporter. We found out she is a foreign female reporter now.
Light him up, Hoffy.
What are your thoughts about Jared Porter's text message exchange with himself 63
Light him
times?
up, Hoffy.
Let me put it to you this way, Buck. If I ask you to have me on your show and you don't answer me, I'm not sending you another 59 messages asking if I can come on your show.
Why not?
And then when you still don't answer me, I'm not going to send a beautiful picture of my face to you and say, come on, have me on. It just seems like common sense that
Buck would just be waiting for the penis pic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
sorry.
Any times like you can just like flop it up like a little bit, make like a little mustache. A1, man.
Oh my God. We are in so much trouble tonight with the conversations we're having. But no, so I'm with you, Hoffy. How many text messages has this guy got to send? He's talking to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only times that she's talking to him to respond to him is to tell him to stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, at what point do you not say, hey, look, she's not interested. I work in Major League Baseball, and I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I'm going to move on.
Yeah,
Like, I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand it.
Yeah, makes no sense. And then for him to, when it comes out, they ask him about, did you send pictures? No, I didn't. They show him the pictures. Oh, yeah, I sent those, but that's not me.
Yeah.
That's the hotel room that you were sending, though.
No, yeah. I mean, and at that point, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You could go on the internet and pay for it if you're that hard up. Like, I mean, seriously, offer a girl $1,000 for the night, and there are plenty of websites that will do that for you.
There's plenty of guys that would do it for $5, right, Combs?
Hey, $20 is $20, Buck.
So Hoffy, let's put you on the spot here. Like I said, there's 26 days until spring training starts, and guys, I do see your comment, and we will address that here in like a minute. Who do you think is going to win the World Series this season? Yes, it's too early. I put you on the spot, but we got to get an answer.
I'm gonna with my dream pick, San Diego Padres. If
Padres.
They were there last year, their pitching was hurt in the playoffs, and that's what cost them. But they've added some players. They've got 4 top prospects that are in the top 100. They got the number 1 lefty, and sounds like he's going to be in the rotation this year. So I think if we have a full season, that's going to hurt Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers because let's be honest, he can't go a whole season, and that helped him last year. They lost Hernandez, they lost Turner, and those were solid guys in their clubhouse. So I think the Padres are going to take the West this year, and I like them or the Braves. I think the winner of that NL can give the AL a run.
Yeah,
Holmes, put you on the spot too.
Before their decision to hire Tony La Russa, I would have absolutely 110% said the White Sox this year because I really believe in this team. I like the things that they're doing. I like the moves that they're making. Mm-hmm. But Tony La Russa just turned at that was just a horrible hire, a horrible decision, and I don't think it's going to end up well for them. So I am actually going to go a different direction, and I'm going to surprise people, and it surprised them when I had them in my top 10. I'm going to say the New York Mets.
New York Mets. Let's put Wyatt Williams on the spot. Speaking of bad mistakes.
Uh-oh.
Who is going to win the World Series, Wyatt?
Win the World Series? Oh, man.
That's baseball, Wyatt.
I know baseball. I'm not Mike Buck. Come on now. You know this.
You certainly don't know football. Look at all that crap behind you.
Oh, yeah. Here's the Bears fan talking crap. That's hilarious.
And
you're going down this weekend, Wyatt.
The answer, not give me an answer. Who wins the World Series?
Wins the World Series? I'm going to take Padres.
I'm
Hot
surprised
take.
you didn't go with
Hot
the
take.
Packers.
Hot take Padres.
There we go, guys. All right, Hoffy, thanks for joining us, man. We'll have you on next Monday.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Mondays with Hoffy and Wednesdays and whoever else. LOL. It sounds like you're talking like me, Tim. Mets. I'm just kidding. My bad. But, guys, we are going to take a quick little break, and we will have a moment of silence for Don Sutton. So, guys, we'll be right on the Man Hour. Man Hour Nation. Thanks for checking out that Man Hour clip. You can check out the full episode in the link below in the description, or you can check us live Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. East Coast time on youtube.com/Man Hour. Or you can download the podcast form on Spotify and iHeartRadio as well. Man Hour Nation, stand up.